Welcome back, focused learners, to another explainer. We're diving straight into something that's been keeping a lot of you up at night, the 2026 selection criteria for IIM Lucknow. Now, we aren't just going to read off a brochure today. We're going to completely decode the hidden math, those tricky diversity multipliers, and the intricate formulas that are quietly, but drastically, reshaping who actually gets an interview call.
So, picture this. You absolutely crush the CAT exam. For years, the ultimate goal for any MBA aspirant has been exactly that, right? It's this widely held belief that if you secure a near-perfect score, say a 99.5 percentile, you are basically guaranteed an interview call.
Well, brace yourselves for a massive reality check. Because for a lot of applicants, particularly general engineer males, our gems out there, the answer is a resounding no. The game has fundamentally changed. With the 2026 diversity multipliers officially in play, relying entirely on a sky-high CAT score is a strategy that could honestly leave you totally empty-handed.
The cutoff illusion versus reality.
To understand why this is happening, we really need to expose the massive gap between what IIM Lucknow officially announces and what actually happens behind closed doors. When you check the official policy, the numbers look pretty tame. A general category candidate technically only needs an overall CAT percentile of 90, with an 85 in each section. Technically hit those marks and you qualify. But let me be clear, this table is merely an illusion of safety. It just gets you into the giant pool for the composite score calculation. It absolutely does not mean you're getting a call.
So, the crucial point is this brutal contrast. Sure, a 90 percentile is the official minimum, but the harsh reality for a general engineer male is that you actually need a safe target of somewhere between the 97 to 99.5 percentile just to secure a watt peak call. A 90 percentile jam technically qualifies, but realistically, they have almost zero shot at an actual interview.
Decoding the diversity multiplier.
Let's break down the pre-PI composite score to see exactly why these high-scoring engineers are getting left behind. Your scaled CAT score is definitely the biggest lever, making up 60% of the weight. But look at that remaining 40%. Class 12 gets 10%, work experience gets 10, and graduation gets 10. But here is the massive catch. Graduation marks are normalized by discipline. That means a commerce or arts graduate is not competing on the same curve as a strict engineering graduate. And then we have a combined 10% awarded exclusively for gender and academic diversity.
And here's where the math gets really unforgiving. Because general engineer males do not qualify for either the gender or the academic diversity points, they are completely locked out of that 10% bonus. They're effectively competing on only 90% of the total available weightage, while female and non-engineering candidates have access to the full 100%. It's a completely different playing field.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how this plays out in the real world. Let's pit two hypothetical candidates against each other. Candidate A is a general engineer male with an absolutely killer 98.5 percentile in CAT, but he's a fresher, zero work experience. Candidate B is a female non-engineer, let's say a commerce grad, with a 95.0 percentile in CAT and 12 months of solid work experience.
You'd think Candidate A has it in the bag with that massive 3.5 percentile lead in the CAT, but nope. Candidate B picks up a full 10 percentage points automatically just for gender and academic diversity. Add in the normalized graduation score advantage and her work experience points, and Candidate A's huge CAT lead is entirely swallowed up. Mathematically, the formula is built so that Candidate B can easily breeze right past him in the final shortlist.
The hard gate, final selection.
Okay, so let's say you survived the composite score math and made the wide pay shortlist. Huge congratulations. But don't celebrate just yet, because in the final selection phase, the formula flips upside down. Suddenly, your CAT score drops to just 30% of your total weightage. And the personal interview? It jumps right to the top spot at a massive 40%. The written ability test is 10%, academics are 10%, and work experience and diversity drop to just 5% each. The personal interview is now the undisputed battleground. This is literally where final admission is won or lost.
Now here is a number that should be burned into your brain as a massive warning sign. 12 out of 40. This is the mandatory minimum score you absolutely must achieve in your interview. If you score below a 12 in the PI, that is it. Automatic disqualification. You are entirely eliminated from the final merit list, and it does not matter if your CAT percentile was 99.9 or how flawless your academic record is. This single rule has literally eliminated 99+ percentilers in the past. The interview is a hard gate. It is definitely not just a formality.
So, what exactly is happening in those crucial 20 to 25 minutes? Well, the faculty panel evaluates you across 5 specific areas. Roughly 30% is based entirely on your academics, which means they will dig deep into your final year undergraduate subjects. Another 25% is on your work experience, testing your actual, real-world professional roles. The rest covers communication, general awareness, and overall fit. Generic, rehearsed answers simply will not survive this kind of intense scrutiny.
Strategic playbook. Okay, let's dive into this and see how you can apply this math to your specific profile.
All right, general engineer males, listen up. You already know you don't have that 10% diversity cushion, so your only path forward is to secure a sky-high CAT score. You realistically need to target that 97 to 99.5 percentile. You also need a very strong Class 12 score, ideally above 80%, because you get 0 points if you fall below that threshold. And most importantly, you must absolutely dominate the personal interview. That is your battleground. That's where you can make up ground and outscore diversity-advantaged candidates head-to-head. Now, if you are a female or a non-engineer applicant, the math is genuinely in your favor here. Your effective CAT target can be slightly lower. You're highly competitive in the 92 to 96 percentile range. You get to leverage that 10% automatic diversity bonus right out of the gate. But listen, the absolute worst mistake you can make is wasting this mathematical advantage by under-preparing for the WAT-P round. You still have to perform exceptionally well in the interview to convert that mathematical shortlist into an actual final offer.
And for the working professionals tuning in, your experience is literally a point-scoring machine. Having 6 to 12 plus months of experience gives you composite points that freshers just simply cannot access. Also, a quick note, for the 2026 MBA in Sustainable Management, there's a new rule requiring a mandatory 24 months of work experience. During your PI, your entire strategy must be to translate your resume into real business maturity. You have to articulate your ownership, the tough decisions you've made, and the actual outcomes you've driven. Before we wrap this up, I've got a surprisingly awesome hidden fact for you that might take some weight off your shoulders. Unlike a lot of other top B schools, IIM Lucknow does not consider your Class 10 marks in their selection criteria. Not at all. So, if you had a rocky academic record back in early high school, you can breathe a little easier. It's not going to drag down your composite score here.
So we've decoded the actual formula, we've exposed the diversity multipliers, and mapped out what the real cutoffs look like. The myth that a high percentile alone decides your fate, yeah, that is officially busted. At IIM Lucknow, CAT is just the beginning of the journey. The rest is entirely about your strategic positioning. So the question I leave you with is this. You know the math now. What is your strategy? It's time to take a hard, realistic look at your profile, stop relying on percentile myths, and start actively positioning yourself for that final offer. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today, and I'll catch you in the next breakdown.